Well, hey there, Belmathuin here, bringing you another 1.13 Minecraft tutorial. Today we're looking to solve a problem we're having in our survival world. In our survival world, we just built a potato and carrot farm, and they produce a lot more than I'd like to deal with on a manual level. So I figure we will have a water stream coming from the farm. It's going to go into a classic Impulse SV sorting system, just these two tiles right here, and the rest of it I kind of toyed around with for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and came up with on my own. So once they get sorted at Impulse's sorting brain there, they go down a line of hoppers and they go into a shulker. I've preloaded a couple of shulkers with almost, so they're almost full, and left a little preview window, so that's going to fill, and when it hits 64 it's going to pop off. It's going to wind up down here with the rest of them, and it'll just keep doing that. It'll keep popping out as many empty shulkers as we feed into that chest. Same with the carrots. I really like leaving this little preview window. But I guess without further ado, let's get right on to the build. I assume that many of you already know how to do the sorting system, but if you do not, like at one point in the past I did not, you can screenshot it right here and get a pretty good idea. All it is a hopper with a comparator reading out, two lines of dust, then a step down, another line of dust, and a step down with a repeater on it going into a block with a torch. And all that does is that you're gonna take any item in the game, throw it in an anvil, rename it to whatever you want. I used filter because it's a filter, and that just helps me remember what I did the naming for. Fill 4 of the slots in the hopper with the filter item that you chose, and then 41 of the item that you want to exclusively go down this line of hoppers. I want carrots in that one, and I want potatoes in that one. And basically all that does is the comparator reads what's in there, the 45 pieces, and it can't just can't quite reach that redstone. If you add one more carrot to that hopper, it lights up that redstone, which lights up the repeater, powering the block, turning off the redstone torch, and unlocking that hopper, because that torch is there to lock that hopper so that everything stays in here. So from that little central brain system, you're going to run a hopper line out to wherever you're going to build it. I just chose to build mine directly in front of it. Figure out where you're going to want your shulker to rest, and plan the rest of the build around that. So we're going to do a soul stand under the shulker, a soul stand under the hopper leading into the shulker. That's going to be important. You'll see why in a little bit. Place hoppers under both of those. If you want your chest to face out like that, then simply turn that hopper into the other one. And then directly behind here, behind the soul sand, you're going to want to build a little bit of a platform. See, I believe it's going to be 4 directly straight out as you're facing the shulker from behind the system, 4 directly straight out to the left, and only 2 to the right. Place a couple of blocks there behind the hopper leading into the shulker and the shulker itself. And let's get some redstone bits out. Comparator reading directly off of the block that's touching the shulker is very important. Then some redstone. Is that full? It is not full. Oh, I know why. Because we want a redstone block right there. I've tested it, don't worry. This redstone block will not interfere with the central brain here, as long as it's placed there. So then we're going to come back, place a couple of temporary blocks for ease of use. And we want a dispenser facing into the shulker. We can go ahead and get rid of that block now. 2 redstone repeaters on full delay. We can get rid of that block. And then we're going to go up 1, place a temporary block, a couple of half slabs on the top block, and that allows us to climb our redstone line up to the sticky piston that we want to place 2 blocks above the shulker. I'm going to place a stone slab on the sticky piston. I'm going to put a repeater going into the piston. Now you could probably actually get away with a block there as well, but I'm just going to use the sticky piston, or the redstone repeater. So now, that really should be just about it. So now if this block ever becomes full, let's see, let's add some carrots to there. Then this should dispense. If I put enough in there. I did not. There. I don't know why those came out. Alright, so let's grab our shulker back. Let's get it ready for another round, because again it can't be full. We'll fill it to 56. Very important step. We need to fill in any possible spaces that shulker is going to try to get out of. I like to fill in the front here all the way around, and this block right here I want to put a stair facing away, and some glass right in the middle there. That way we can still access our shulker box and see how it's doing. You know, because you're probably going to be curious at some point, and tearing things apart is never the good option. So we're going to plan ahead and leave a little access point. And that's it. That's the whole build. I'll just fill in those spots because why not? And we'll quickly run through this other side. So soul sand with hoppers underneath. That block for the that block for the redstone block. And this for the comparator to read out of. Going there. And we're going to want temporary block for the dispenser facing into the shulker. Going to run redstone comparator coming out of the block that is touching the shulker. A little bit of dust there behind the comparator. A step up with more dust on it. And if I get lucky, nope. A couple of temporary blocks so that you can get your top half slab of anything you choose coming right up into. Let's drop down a little bit. A sticky piston with a slab facing down into the shulker. 2 more pieces of dust on top of there. Here's a quick aerial view if you need to screenshot. Repeater going into the sticky piston. 2 repeaters on full delay going into the dispenser. And the rest is all just cosmetics and filling in any spaces that the shulker might try to escape through. Like there, there. And that should be good. Now you can also place one there. You can also, for ease of use, stick a hopper into the back of the dispenser. A couple of chests, or a double chest over top of that hopper. And you can use a hopper chain to put that anywhere that's convenient for you. Let's grab another stair. Above the chest. And that should do it. Let's go ahead and finish off this side. And a stair. And only 3 more stairs to place. These are just so that the chest can open. You can use half slabs, you can use stairs, you can use whatever you want. Let's try to grab that glass. There we go. And the stair again. Just so that we can access the shulker box and see what's doing. And there we have it. If you throw a button on the end here, you can, let's see, right next to the glass. You can activate the dispenser yourself if it doesn't seem to be clicking through, or in order to kickstart the system. Let's see, do I have any left? I do not. They're all in here. All right, but that's the shulker. That's the shulker mass storage system. Great for use with mob farms, with potato and carrot farms, with sugarcane farms, with melon and pumpkin, with all of your farms. So hopefully that helps you out in your worlds. Hopefully that gives you something to play around with so that you can maybe improve upon it. Or if you have any suggestions, questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And until next tutorial, hope everybody has a good night.